evening, and welcome to another episode of Gamehater, the show where we play our unvetted dubious purchases and decide how much we hate them. I am Steve from Gamehiker. Aaron is with me.
Good evening, everyone.
So the game of tonight is Tumbleseed.
I'm already confused.
Yeah, this is what the game actually opened to. Normally I boot it up, get past the title screen, look at some menus to play with audio settings and whatnot, but no, this is where we start.
So we have like two sets of arrow keys then, basically.
Yeah, so this is one that Nintendo kind of hyped up when the Switch launched. It was one of the early indie games on Switch. So I do recall seeing a trailer for it. And yeah, I guess we control the seed by moving the two bars. Or the one bar. We can individually push up and down on each side of the bar.
This immediately looks like the kind of game that Nintendo would sell for $40, but like Kirby inside of it.
Yeah. I could see that. They do love their bizarre Kirby games with gameplay mechanics no one asked for.
Everyone just like, can I just have like a regular Kirby game?
Yeah, you know, eat some dudes and steal their powers. I will be rain soon. I'm so thirsty. Although I will say Mass Attack was an excellent Pikmin game. I don't know why it starred Kirby.
This is so weird controlling it like this.
It's really, really unwieldy.
Blessed is the seed who plants atop the peak, for their growth shall restore order.
So you want me to go up?
And order shall restore balance within our mighty mountain home.
So we found the religious zealots.
Yeah, well, that's always good to know they're around.
Yep, important fixture in any town. You need to know who's going to be loudly judging you for all your decisions. Alright, one more house. Normally I wouldn't spend this much time exploring a town and talking to NPCs, but I can already tell I need the practice.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, table, why? Who would put a table there?
I like how apparently like you're the only one who has to move around like this.
I love living in the prairie. Home, sweet home. Yeah, it's unfair, really.
You're just like this poor disadvantaged kid that everyone knows like doesn't know what he's doing. I hope I grow into a beautiful flower one day.
Alright, now I have to dodge this. Yeah, why am I the only one? You're right, I have some kind of horrible handicap that causes me to traverse the entire world with these mysterious bar that no one else has to deal with. I don't.
Oh
What's
no!
going on right now?
It's something happened, a thing of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of spiky antagonism. Let's do that if I go down this hole. I die.
Okay, so don't do anything interesting in this game.
Nope, don't do it. This is. I'm already. I'm trying to reconcile the physics of what I'm doing with how they would fit into a real world setting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's this bar touching, for one thing? Oh, it's a checkpoint flag.
I wonder if this would be a game that would work better with motion controls.
Maybe.
Like I could see, like on the Switch, if you were holding it, or like on the Wii U, where you had the motion controls inside the gamepad, and then you're controlling it that way by tilting it back and forth.
It might be a little easier to manage. I have to admit, I didn't really pay attention to that dialogue. But I'm going to work with the assumption that diamonds are good.
Usually a safe assumption. Oh, come on.
Is that a game over? Now what?
You fell into the ET hole.
slowly send me back to start. Okay. Thank you for that, game. Yeah.
So there's. Oh, go ahead.
Trying to picture this with motion controls, and I think it'd still be a mixed bag because unless you have super steady hands, you know, like those puzzles where you're guiding a marble through a maze.
Right.
It's a simplified version of that.
Oh,
And
look,
I'm
I know. Like if
terrible at those.
you give it motion controls, and it would be one of those things where you absolutely hate it, but I mean, it makes sense for what the game is.
Yes, I agree. I guess in some ways this is already feeling like a bizarre 2D Super Monkey Ball. Oh yeah, check out those skills.
That was impressive.
Yep, that went perfectly to plan. I only did it to show off. It certainly wasn't me trying to desperately save myself. It's just happening not to screw it up any worse than I already did. Come on. Yeah. No. Yeah. Why are you taking so long? Don't you know I suck at this?
That's why it's taking so long.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome, guy.
I gotta get out of here.
What happened to the town? I got game over and sent back to the beginning of town, and there was no town. Did it all get swallowed up by these spiky
What
dudes?
was even the point of the town? I mean, nobody even told us anything that was useful. Like, usually you go into a town and you expect them, give you some flavor text, and mostly just be like, did you know that if you pressed A, that will access the menu where you can equip items?
But I don't even know what that means. What's an A? Yes. That's what you expect, and that's not what we got.
Oh my god, we haven't even started playing the game yet. That was just the title screen.
Yeah.
Like how the game doesn't even land him on top of his, head. He just lands there sideways.
Yeah. Plop. It would be great with slightly better sound design.
Oh, you're different now.
Yeah, I got a spiky hat. Does that mean something?
Maybe you can break those blocks?
Let's find out. Wait, what's going on here? Use the crystals, Plant your powers. Shards, that told me nothing.
So...
What am I expected to accomplish here? Alright, so
I don't know, you have like a spike revolving around you, maybe it's what you use to break blocks then.
Yeah, alright, let's go over those blocks.
All I know is that you see crates, you break them. That's basic video game logic right there.
That's true. They deserve it. Okay, and I'm out of spikies, and I don't know that I can get more spikies. All right, no point in talking to these guys who don't talk to me.
Yeah, they don't talk unless they have a little conversation bubble.
Yeah. So unwieldy. I can't imagine this game becoming pleasant to play. Yep, that's a crystal. Thank you. Oh, I have different guys.
Oh.
All right, so let's.
Man, look at these exciting characters.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I like Thornvine guy. Wow, that was difficult. He looks pretty badass. He's got like spiky appendages.
Mm-hmm. He got like a headband on too, so.
Yeah.
He's like an 80s badass.
Right. How can you go wrong with a guy like this? Alright, no crystal.
I think what I'm just doing is I'm watching this game and I'm just wondering, why does this game exist?
yeah. I have to question that myself. It's like, hey, we're gonna make a game with a incredibly difficult control scheme and make you very slowly and painstakingly bumble your way through mazes.
It's like this is the kind of stuff for a game developer will experiment with this. Be like, yeah, you can't make a game out of this, but then be like, well, we're really proud of what we did though, so we're gonna include this as a really frustrating mini game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the new hire interns are proving themselves by making this. New hire interns is a bit of an oxymoron.
Yeah, it's just I feel like I played something like this before in like a Mario or Zelda game or something.
Yeah, 3 and you get some crystals. Okay, so I fail.
I'm actually kind of reminded of when you had to. You were saying marble earlier, but remembering Mario having to roll around those stupid giant orbs in Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh my goodness, yes. That was unfortunate. Planting the thorn. I don't have a thorn vine to plant. What do you want from the game? Can I get to that little pocket? I'm currently reminded of there was a mini game in Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga where you were controlling a platform like this to move junk into one pile and not junk into another one. It was in the Mushroom People town.
I think I managed to block that out.
Gino was there.
Oh, okay, that's somewhat familiar now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You got Gino, you gotta know that's. Gotta remember that.
Right. What do you have to say for yourself, buddy? Planting the thorn vine. I would love to plant the thorn vine. That would be my dream. For me to plant this thorn vine and move on with my life. But alas, I have 4 buttons and not one of them. I have the thorn vine.
Do you have to get like the actual pickups for it?
Okay, the crystal power is free. Action button? What's the action button?
When did we get so many buttons? I thought we only had 4.
I know, this is mind-blowing. Dead zones, where's my resolution, main menu, restart. I want to go back to the main menu. That seems counterproductive. What about space? Does space do something good? I'll be a crystal guy. Yeah. Now what?
Is something happening, or is that just...
Okay, I got some power tokens. Now I'm an 80s badass once again.
That was so convoluted and pointless.
It really was. I mean, I guess it had the desired effect of forcing me to learn what the hell is happening.
True.
But I will resolutely fail to remember that lesson. Man, I'm wishing this was motion controlled. It's not a thing I say very often, but like you planted the idea in my head of just tilting a controller and getting on with things, and
right,
like the Marble Madness mazes in Breath of the Wild. Have we talked about those yet?
No. I mean, we only briefly got into it, but no, we have not.
Yeah. But even then, with I really should be reading these things. Hang on. Even then, I would just flip the puzzles over and roll them back. I shall not pass. Okay. Nice and steady. You're good. Hold both of them up. Yeah. And go. Sorry, I'm trying to make this exciting.
No, you by all means try to make this exciting as possible.
No. Wow, what a setback.
Wow.
What was that? I had 3 hearts. I'm just like, oh, you're gonna die 3 times in a row. I'll just hopefully spawn you in this pit. Uh-huh. Do I get to choose anything here?
They had to do that to, to mask the loading time because there was a lot of stuff they had to load there.
It's a really good point. Okay, so we seem to have bumbled into a roguelike. Because the map layout changed when I died.
Oh no, and I thought we had escaped from Roguetober.
Roguetober lives on.
That's a shame because we did not, in any means whatsoever, enjoy Roguetober.
No, we did not. That was a disaster of a theme month. It'd be nice.
I thought I'd recognize the name of this game. I think this is one of the roguelikes that was mentioned in the latest Humble Bundle we picked up.
That's where I got it, yeah. Let's just avoid these guys.
Oh, no.
The other thing I keep being tempted to do is rather than scroll up and down, I'm hitting buttons that would be left and right, because that's what a reasonable game would let me press.
Right.
Was that a good thing I just did?
I don't know. There you are again.
I'm not talking to more NPCs. I can't handle it. I'm done. Permission, come on.
So you gotta go in the house. Oh no, she's right there. She's sleeping.
The permission is I bought this game on Humble Bundle.
Oh no, not the mountain.
Top of the mountain and plant yourself. That sounds really self-destructive.
Why does a game where we're controlling it by just moving this big stick need to have any kind of narrative?
I don't know. But what's really bothering me is where is this stick physically? Because these houses are in the way. I can't push my dude through the houses, but the stick goes through.
I'm already immediately disappointed by the fact that we got a different shape, but it doesn't seem to affect the way we roll.
It's true. That's a missed opportunity.
Because it'd have been really interesting to later unlock a square that moves really slowly, will give you an advantage based off the fact it's a different kind of shape, or like an octagon.
That's a pretty good idea. Guess that's a checkpoint. Right, I would love a square. You just kind of slide down slowly, and maybe like a spiky wheel that clings differently. So you have to tip further or less far to get some momentum.
Yeah.
Different tractions, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, instead of getting weird power-ups, which just have different cool shapes that can different things.
Yeah. I bet Kirby would have been all over that.
Oh yeah, Kirby may not be a square, but if he wants to be a square, he's a square.
That's right. He will eat a square and become the square. That's how he rolls.
I mean, he has to do stuff like that now that Mario has become a better Kirby than he is.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, Kirby's always been in competition with what? A few guys, right? I mean, Mega Man was the original Kirby.
Blood fruit.
Okay, cool. I'm assuming I can only get one of those things that may not have been accurate.
I mean, we could have got more, but do we really care enough to get more? Oh. You died.
I thought I could make a checkpoint. What's that heart thing even doing? This is enormously
Did you mean to do
stressful.
that?
No. No, I did not.
That you were so preoccupied with that hole. I was like,
Well, I was trying to avoid it and just failing miserably. No crystals. I'm not going out of my way for that other crystal. That's the way of pain and dismemberment. What is it with early Nintendo Switch indie games and awful control schemes. Because I mean, the two of the bigger ones that launched early on were Snake Pass and Tumbleseed.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them were just plagued by bad controls.
Oh. It's because when you release it on a system with motion controls, then you get to blame the motion controls if your game plays poorly. You're like, well, we made this perfect game, but I guess the motion controls didn't work the way they're supposed to. It's not our fault.
Not our
Oh
fault.
well.
Just the stupid
But it was
whims
still
of the
innovative.
industry. Yep. No one thought we could do a game like this, and we showed them it's not our fault. It was incredibly painful to play. Don't make me talk to an NPC again. What kind of monster are you, eyeball guy?
I think you need to go in the house with the exclamation mark on top of it.
Man, even worse. Just go that way.
Oh, well, everyone watches you try to get in there and fail.
Yep. Look at Steve. He sucks.
I like I have to explain what the exclamation mark means.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we played a video game before.
Right. It's the universal symbol for I have a quest for you. I guess I'm leaving. I'm not gonna pay that much attention to your desires, old man.
It's like if this game, the people who made this game made the original Super Mario Brothers, they would have an NPC there tell you that, hey, if you jump in the air on top of a Goomba, it will kill them. And they would have that NPC there before you even got to the Goomba, or even saw a Goomba, or knew what a Goomba was.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a What If Mario Was a Modern Game?
Mm-hmm.
And it was all stuff like that, with tutorial text in front of the Goomba, and that's right, I think that seemed to be the heart. Like getting achievements for jumping over the first pit, crap like that.
Right.
It was pretty entertaining.
Sounds about right. Yeah, why don't you stay humble in your stupid Humble Bundle game?
I know I've gotten good games on Humble Bundle before.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a Humble Bundle if it wasn't for the fact that they release good games in there every now and then.
Right. And I mean, I know they're curating lists and not everything's going to appeal to my specific tastes.
But it should.
It should. I mean, I don't see why they can't make a website that does that for me. Ugh. What a disaster.
I mean, well, I don't know why they couldn't. I mean, legitimately. I mean, like, all of your marketing and data and all your purchases are tracked and they're out there in the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah, so they should have a website made just for you.
You think Steam could figure that out?
If there's one thing I've learned about Steam, is that don't expect anything from Steam.
I guess what they're missing is feedback from me on whether I actually liked any particular game. I mean, it's easy for them to see that I bought a game and that I played a game, but neither of those are metrics of did I actually like it.
I would say once you pass like the 100-hour mark on any game, or even just like 20-hour mark,
yeah,
that's pretty a good indicator that yes, you enjoyed this game.
Yeah, that's a fair point. They do have the achievements too, so they can certainly track how much of the game I've played.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, I put 1,300 hours or so into Crusader Kings 2. So they should know that if there's a Paradox game out there, that's what I want.
True. Yep. I have not played any Crusader Kings of any number.
Yeah, so they should know not to advertise to you a Paradox game.
Right. Don't bother because I may not be interested. I should give one of those a chance. I don't generally go for the empire building strategy game kind of stuff. But it sounds like those games have some interesting twists, namely marriage contracts and things of that nature.
Right.
Oh, let's be a knight. I love being a knight. The flail flower. I love it. Oh no. The other thing is that these bars seem so sluggish.
Whoa.
Yeah, aggressive. There we go. Oh, come on.
These holes are too big.
Yeah, the holes are too big. And what's with the insta-death? For the amount of time it takes me to get anywhere, maybe not with the insta-death? Why do I even have a heart meter? Do I have to be actively making checkpoints? Is that what they want from me?
I don't know what this game wants from you.
I don't know what I want from this game.
Yeah, no, right? I mean, we're unlocking these different power-ups and different abilities, which, I mean, that's nice, but it's not really fundamentally changing the game in any way that's interesting.
Right. I mean, especially when I can't even tell what half of them are doing. I guess I haven't tried this guy yet. Let's see what he's got. Oh, is that my... Okay, so that was actually... Okay. The heart
Well,
guy
it's floating. That's
he's-
kind of interesting.
He's floating as a response to getting hit. Oh, look at all these crystals I've got. I thought I had a limit. Yeah, there's no point in this guy. Wait, he's filling up. Okay. What does that mean? What does any of this mean?
Who knows?
Okay. Okay, so when he fills up, that is when his power actually comes to a head. So
I know when he fills up, he gives you an extra heart.
It could be. Okay, up.
Easy does it.
So let's just pick a... Okay, so he'll make a bounce pad. I don't know. Boomerang? Sure.
Boomerang. Sure.
Let's do it.
Just look at it, it's like, yeah, this is a completely meaningless power up. Let's go for it.
Yeah. I care slightly more about this one than the other one. And they both seem awful.
And it's the same way where you look down and you see two pennies on the ground, and you know one of them's a regular penny and one of them's kind of grimy looking, so you pick up the regular penny.
They're exactly the same.
They're exactly the same. It's just one is slightly more appealing.
Yeah. No. That was obviously the wrong way.
And you're dead.
I don't understand what is going on with these pits. I can't do it. I'm so angry at this game right now.
I mean, do we really need to continue? Is there anything else in this game we're going to see that's going to change our mind?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe figuring out one or two mechanics differently, but no, I can't stomach it anymore. I don't think I've had that response to a game in a while. I'm just so annoyed by every facet of its gameplay.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
Why?
It's something that, you know, it's an interesting concept in and of itself, but only if it was like a mini game within a real game. Like if I ran into some a WarioWare or something like that, I'd be like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then that would be that would be the end of me thinking about that game.
Yes,
that was kind of interesting.
Right.
I wouldn't think, wow, I wish this was a full campaign.
No, this is not in any way a Captain Toad situation. Why? Okay. Alright, I gotta compose myself.
Okay, I know this is only, I'm looking at Tumbleseed on how long to beat.
Yep.
There's only one person that's been pulled, but they listed it as 16 hours.
My goodness.
How could you have 16 hours of this?
Yeah. That explains why that is the only person who logged in. Because yeah, that's too much. It is too much.
2 hours of this game would be just about right, and that would be too much as it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is something I would want to see in another game and maybe spend 10 minutes with, and then be done with it.
Right. It's an interesting programming project, and that is the end of my compliments. I'm just gonna play while we review, just for the sake of having new footage, because we didn't play very long. But unless something drastically changes my mind, there's nothing, no other reason to care about this. So, okay. Talking about genre. The genre is, of course, stupid, tedious minigame.
That's not like an actual genre. That's something that exists.
Yep. I mean, this is good for one star in a Mario game, or some completely unnecessary armor set in an RPG. Not full game worthy. One thing I'm really mixed on, maybe you'll have a stronger opinion, is the roguelike elements. So I can see why they did it, right? So you've got a different experience every time you play. And that's kind of cool. But on the other hand, if you took this game and added good thought out level design, these deaths would be a lot less frustrating, because I could get into a groove and just like soar through levels after I've played them a few times.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, because it just almost feels like instead of spending time on level design, they just took sort of a lazy route. And I'm not saying that it's easier to build something like this versus actual creating levels. I'm not sure
Right.
which is harder, but I think just having it automatically generate the levels is doing a disservice to the type of game it is.
Yeah, and I've seen people make disparaging comments about roguelikes. Basically that there's no substitute for good level design. Or good handcrafted level design, I should say.
Right.
But I've seen procedurally generated games that are super fun to play, and you appreciate the variety.
And a lot of times, doing that is, what you're doing is you're taking micro elements of levels
Yep.
and, making those random. Like there's one game we were playing, like 20XDX, where I played that word enough that I can recognize these different segments of a level and know that, that they're going to be different each time, but they're different components of an actual design. So you actually have a kind of level design and have roguelike elements at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. I fully agree. You can do both, and those I think tend to be the best procedurally generated games. 20XDX is a great example. Rogue Legacy is another one of games that were well crafted and procedurally generated. And this feels a lot more like the design decisions came out of the RNG than a lot of games in that style.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna make this somewhat randomized map, and oh hey, here's some holes. Let's just randomly assign holes in the ground.
Yeah. So even though it's only a minor part of the game itself, it's not doing it any favors.
No, I think this is a case where a strong, well-crafted, carefully crafted level design would have really benefited.
Yeah,
and I would have loved speedruns.
Yeah, it's like, because I guess imagining like a game like this where you're controlling it the way you are, seeing someone speedrun like a level that they've practiced over and over and over, like that would be really, really impressive to see.
Really would, yeah.
But I'm not sure you could really do anything speedy with the way it is. I'm sure with enough skill you could get talented enough to sort of just run through it and do okay the same way you would you're picking up a new Mario game the first time.
Yep.
But even then, it wouldn't be as good as seeing an actual well-crafted level.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree. Okay. The other one we like to talk about is conveyance, and I'm not gonna give it many points on that.
Yeah, I mean, it kept introducing these different power-ups, and they were just very bewildering.
Yeah, they're going for this very no text route, but the pictures don't always do the job. Normally, I appreciate that sort of thing because your language invariant, and you don't have to read a bunch of wordy NPC dialogue to understand what's going on. But it's not really helping in this case.
Yeah, so like we're in this room right now, and this is a good example because it's showing the name of it, and it gives you like this really vague example of what it is. It makes no sense at all.
Right. It's just not helping.
A better system would have been to, introduce an enemy that based on that power up, and be like, "Oh, that enemy is so cool," and then you see, "Oh, look at that power up that looks just like that enemy," and then you realize, "Oh, wow, I can do the same thing that enemy did."
Right. Going back to the Kirby example. So yeah, no points there. And everything else, like how expensive is this one?
Let's find out because we got the bundle. It was like lower tier, so it could have been literally 1 cent. But let's see what you would go pay for it if you're going to buy it, right now. So it is apparently $14.99.
Okay, so that's a fairly humble price for an indie game.
Yeah,
I've certainly seen.
It is, but it isn't at the same time because even though I don't think you could play it on a cell phone just because of the button requirements. At the same time, you could play this on a cell phone. And on a cell phone, you don't expect to pay more than $2 or $3 for most games.
Yeah, it does have. Oh, it's an invincibility star, I bet. Leaning on knowledge from other games. Yeah, in terms of like level of ambition and craft that went into it, yeah, I definitely get a cell phone game vibe from it. And actually, so my big complaint on this one is that the control scheme doesn't allow for fast and precise course corrections. There's the sense of creeping doom when you're a little too close to a hole because it's really hard to recover. But
right.
If this was like an analog slider I was using, I think I could do a lot better. Suddenly jerk the one side of the bar down, for example.
Right. Actually, I said it wouldn't work in a cell phone game, but I think it would work really well as a cell phone game because unlike, say a DS where I think you can only have like one touch input, a cell phone you can have more than one touch input. So you could literally have your cell phone on the side and be controlling it with thumbs on either side of it, controlling that slider.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
Absolutely. Right. You have your thumbs control each end of the bar and go to town. It probably would be better.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually released this on cell phone. I'd be kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm playing with a keyboard. It's entirely possible it's better with analog sticks because you can have that precision.
Yeah, I don't see anything about it getting cell phone release, which is too bad because I think it would actually be a really good cell phone game.
Yeah, I think this is a game that fits that format better. But you never get no $14.99 from it on the cell phone.
Oh, not at all. You would not pay anything for it at all, and it would make you pay after you die 3 times.
So yeah, overall, I think this was an infuriating game. You were right straight off the bat that it felt like a mini game in a better game. But it's not. This is it. The controls are frustrating and cumbersome.
The fact that they try to push a storyline on us is downright insulting.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a while since I've given a game this rating, and I haven't done it at all since we switched to the thumbs up, thumbs down, closed fist scheme. But this one is getting a middle finger.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that one too. This is definitely deserving of 2 middle fingers.
The angriest of all ratings that we can provide. Reserved for games that aren't just bad, but they really piss us off.
How dare you, Tumbleseed?
Who gave you the right? So there we go. You got anything else?
Nope, that's about all I got to say about this one. Hope I never have to see this game again.
You were wholly undeserving of a slot in the Nintendo Switch reveal trailer. And with that, all that's left to say about Tumbleseed is that we hate this game and we are going to bed. Good night.
Good night.